feels best on your hips and legs. So if you want to, you could sit cross-legged, but if it's really tight for you to sit cross-legged, I recommend putting some stuff underneath your knees and hips. Okay, you could also sit with your legs out. You could also sit with your back up against a wall or a piece of furniture. Okay, and then just notice how it feels to sit. We're going to be working with the shoulders. So notice where you're making contact with the floor and lifting the top of your head up toward the ceiling. And exhale, relaxing your jaw, relaxing your shoulders. Good. All right. And we're going to inhale, and let's bring your right arm up, locking the elbow. So making it totally straight and taking it up. We're just checking how this feels. Like, can it come up by your ear without pain? Can it be totally straight? And then bring it back down. Good. Now the floor will be in our way a little bit, but you can just kind of bend the elbow for a moment and then straighten it again and take it behind your body and see how it feels going backwards, extending it. Good. And then bring it down. Good. And now you're going to just bring it up to shoulder height. Lock out the elbow and just exhale as you start to take the arm across the body just as far as you can with the elbow locked and without twisting. Okay, so it's just going across. Good. Come back to center. We're going to bend the elbow like a goalpost, or I'll call this one scarecrow. And we're going to start to take the hand. So from the side, it looks like this. The hand goes back, elbow forward. So an external rotation. Keep breathing. And then bring it down so it's internal rotation. Good. And then rest. All right, so those are just little mobility checks, checking for pain, checking for what your range is, and we're going to see if it changes with this sensory exercise, okay? So we're going to take your other hand, your left hand, and tap all around the shoulder. You can tap up into the neck too if you'd like. Just keep breathing, okay? And the thing here is that your brain, the neuromuscular connection, so between your brain, your nervous system, and the muscles, often those connections work better when you've had some sensory input to the area, okay? Whether that's through touch, tapping, the resistance against something like the floor or the wall, and you can come all the way down. You'll see I'm coming down to my hand. I'm looking at it so I can get that feedback. You usually do this for about 30 seconds to a minute. Okay, and then we're just simply going to recheck those mobility ranges again. So let's inhale, we'll move through it a little quicker. Inhale, lock out the elbow, bring it up, see if there's any change. And then exhale, bring it down. Inhale, take it behind your back, noticing. Exhale, bring it down and back to shoulder height. Inhale as you bring the arm across, locking out the elbow. And bring it back to center and take it out to the side. Inhale as you externally rotate and exhale as you internally rotate. And just notice if there's any change, however small. Okay, let that rest and just notice your two arms. Following your breath in and out. All right, now we're going to check the other side. Just going to inhale, bring it up, locking out the elbow. And then exhale, bring it down. Good, yeah, see if you can lock out that elbow and bring it behind your back as well. That's how that feels. Good. And then bring it forward to shoulder height. Again, lock out the elbow, bring it across your body. Good, without turning. Keep breathing. And bring it out to the side with the elbow bent. And you're going to externally rotate. Notice how this side feels. And then internally rotate. Good. And then bring it down, rest it, and start tapping. So tap with your other hand, of course, and then just look at it as best as you can. Can come all the way up to the neck and onto the shoulder. And down into the arm. Keep breathing, of course. Down onto the hand and the wrist. Good. Good. All right, now we'll recheck. Okay, so lock out the elbow and bring it up. See how that feels. Good, and then back. See how that feels. I got a little more range that time. And then we're gonna bring it to shoulder height and across. Keep breathing. Lock it out. You'll want to bend there. And then out to the side, bent at 90 degrees, externally rotating it and internally rotating it. Good. And then just let it rest. Notice your two arms, kind of let them hang. Good. Inhale, sit up tall. Imagine you've got something on the top of your head, you're lifting up. Good. Exhale, relax your shoulders. Good. All right, we're gonna come onto our knees and use our bear get up to come up to standing. Walk your hands back. And then as you inhale, just rising and reaching your arms up toward the ceiling. And exhale, bring your arms out to the sides and down. Good. Let's work on a little bit of our Ujjayi breathing. So just another kind of pranayama to help you focus, okay? Help you focus. It also helps to lengthen the exhale and maybe downregulate the nervous system while you're at it. All right, so feeling your feet on the floor. First we'll inhale and then exhale out through pursed lips like you're blowing out through a straw slowly. Until you get every last bit of air out. You might feel your abdominals engage and pull back. And then again. And now trying the fogging up the mirror breath. So this comes out the mouth again, but it's like you're fogging up a piece of glass that you'd wipe, like your glasses, making a sound in the back of your throat. And again. Good. And now you can try to make that sound with the mouth closed. So it's almost like you're sighing against the back of your lips. The air's going in and out through your nose, but you might feel it in your throat, okay? You can give it a try. You just want to make sure you're not getting too tense around your jaw or your throat. Good. Let's try one more thing here. So even though we're standing, it's a little harder to do a belly breath when you're standing, but we can do the umbrella breath. It's a little harder for that too. So instead of when you inhale, you lift up, instead of doing this, where it's more of a lift, see if you can focus on it. You can put your hands like this, or you could put them like this to feel it, okay? And I feel on like this area is expanding more than this area lifting. Okay, so here we go. It's going to inhale. You can use the Ujjayi breath if you want. So as you inhale, your hands widen with your breath. And as you exhale and get every last bit of air out, the hands will come closer together. And this can be hard to do, especially if you're used to a more, I'm calling it a stress breath. You might not always feel stressed when you do it consciously, but the stress breath would be like the opposite, kind of inhaling and the belly goes in and we lift and exhale, right? So this is the opposite of that. So if you have a habit of breathing the other way, it might be challenging to get this. So don't worry too much about it. It will come with time and we work on it, okay? Good. All right. Now let's just stand with your feet about shoulders distance apart, and I'm just going to hula hoop the hips. And then go the other way. All right, then coming back to the center, we're going to roll our ankles. So we'll do the one where you trace the perimeter of your foot on the floor. So you can look at this with your eyes. You can let your knee bend and your hip move. And then go the opposite way. Good. And then stand on both feet and just notice how it feels on both sides. And now let's do the other foot. And the opposite. Good. And then we'll stand with legs wide again or feet wide and just a gentle side bend. Can go down just as far as feels okay in your low back. Slowly exploring your range, letting your hands slide down your legs, feeling the texture of your clothing or your skin. Good. Coming back up to center now. We're going to do a little bit of a nerve glide, a nerve stretch through the neck and shoulder and arm. So you want to keep this at about a 3 out of 10 intensity, right? So pretty low. So back off whenever you need to keep it there, okay? So you guys have done this with me before, most of you. So what we're going to do is take your right hand and you'll see I'll just extend the wrist. So my palm is facing the floor, okay? Breathe, feel your feet on the floor. You could always sit too, okay? And then I'm just gonna slowly spread the fingers and the thumbs so my hands spread out, but the palm is facing the floor. And I'm gonna roll my upper arm bone back and just roll it back, shoulder blade depressed, okay? And leave that there if you can. Just notice, keeping it a 3 out of 10 intensity. This one stretches down to the thumb side of the hand. And then if you need more, you could take the arm a little bit away from the hip, but keeping the upper arm bone rolled back and the shoulder blade depressed. And then you might add in leaning the head away from the arm. Okay, remember 3 out of 10 intensity. And to keep it there, we're going to glide in and out of it. So we're going to release it by lifting the shoulder blade a little bit and then come back into it and breathe. And you can always move the chin to a different position. If you need more, just remember, move it further away, lean the head further, or rotate the arm more. Good. And now gently relax the arm. You can take your other hand to the side of your head and bring it up. Now, because it's a nerve glide, you might feel a little tingling. You just don't want that tingling to last more than 30 seconds or so, and it should go away. If it doesn't, that was a little too much for you. Okay, so just check in there, and then we're going to also recheck our mobility. So we'll lock out the arm. Inhale, bring it up. Notice how it feels, keep straightening it, and then exhale, bring it down and back. Same thing, lock out the arm and notice. And then inhale, bring it to shoulder height. And exhale, keep the arm locked. Just bring it across, so don't turn at all, and don't let the arm soften. So it's just boom, like an arrow straight. Good. And then bringing it out to the side, bending the elbow. So externally rotate, flipping it back, that, and internal rotation going down. And you're just kind of checking for any changes as we go through these, and relax it. Notice the two arms. Good. And we're going to do the second side with a nerve glide. Okay, so first, palm floor, extend the wrist, spread the fingers and thumb. Good. Then roll upper arm bone back, shoulder blade depressed, and then maybe you take the arm away a little bit. Keep breathing. Maybe you take the neck away. Good. And then to glide in and out, we leave it, lifting the shoulder blade and bring it back in. Good. And the whole time you're keeping that upper arm bone rolling back, or you won't get it. And you're adjusting where your chin and neck are to keep this at a 3 out of 10 intensity. Pressing the heel of the hand down, extending that wrist. Good, and then relax the arm. You can take the other hand to the side of your head and bring your head up. Good. Notice for a moment, and then lock out the arm and just check your range. Up. You might even go a little back when you come up, if you can keep the arm locked. And then extension of the shoulder. And to shoulder height, a little adduction, keeping the arm locked. So you don't turn, so you don't want to come into this. And notice you're just straight ahead. It's just the arm across. And then out to the side, bending the elbow. Externally rotating. Oh, I got more range that time. And internal. Yeah, so with the internal, the arm stays bent as it comes in. Yeah, and it's noticing there. Good, just shake it out. Notice how you feel. We're going to try a second one, another type of nerve, and another nerve, I should say. So for this one, come back to the first side, make a fist, and close the thumb inside. So just one side at a time. And then from here, we're going to flex the wrist. So you see what I did? I've got the fist, and I'm flexing the wrist. So it's going to stay there. Okay. The knuckles are facing my thigh. Okay. And now from here, instead of externally rotating the arm, I'm going to internally rotate. So I keep everything the same, but I roll my upper arm bone in. Good. And I'm going to show you from the side. I'm going to take the arm behind my back and out any amount. And where this one runs is you'll write it down through here, the forearm too. Okay, now you can take the neck away from it if you want. And for me on this one, I like to lift the chin a little bit. And you can do the same thing. You can raise and lower the shoulder blade, or you can make circles. Now see what helps you glide in and out of this nerve stretch. Keep breathing. And remember to keep that fist, that flexion of the wrist. Good. Good. And then release. You can shake out the hand. You can use your other hand to lift the head if you want. And then just inhale. See if this one makes any difference in your shoulder. It may or may not. It might be your neck. It might be other areas. Up. And just let your breath flow. Lock out that arm. Good. And then shoulder height. Remember, everything stays forward. It's just at the arm. Don't bend the arm at all. So not even a little soft, just totally straight. And then out to the side, scarecrow, rotate back. So it's boom, like that. And then it comes down with the elbow bent. Good. And then rest. All right. Other arm. Okay, so for this one, you make your fist, thumb on the inside. So to start, the knuckles face the leg. But then when we turn the upper arm bone in, well, kind of face a different direction, okay? And then from here, you can add the neck if you want. You can take it behind you or out to the side more. And then to come in and out, to glide in and out, you can circle it, or you can raise and lower the shoulder blade. Remember, 3 out of 10 intensity. You can lift the chin or open the mouth. Good, and then rest the arm, shake it out. You can use the other hand on your head, bring it up. Good, and then we'll inhale, checking it out, locking out the arm, going back. Good, and bringing it to shoulder height. Just locking out the arm fully, bringing it across. Good. You notice I'm not doing that, right? I'm just totally straight, just makes an X. And then come out to the side, bend the elbow, tip it back, and then down. Good, and then just let it go. And let's let the arms be really loose. Swing and twist here. Just letting your arms flop around like wet noodles here. For a few more, and you can actually look around your body as you do this. Good. And just coming back to the center, let's inhale, squeeze the shoulders up, elevate the shoulder blades, and exhale, drop. Inhale, squeeze them up. Exhale, drop. Good. Good. And then inhale, squeeze them back, retracting the shoulder blades. Exhale, relax. Inhale, squeeze them back. Exhale, relax. Inhale, back. Exhale, relax. All right. We're going to come to our wall now. And what we're going to be doing, in case you need to leave my view or your view of me for a moment, is going to be retract and protract. Now, remember that when you retract and protract, or maybe you haven't done this with me before, is the retract is a squeezing together of the shoulder blades back behind, right? It's like they're moving closer together. And the protract is a widening. You're not elevating up here. There's no elevation going on, all right? And the feedback of the wall can be really helpful to notice how it's working, okay? So your hands are just below shoulder height a little bit, or at shoulder height. Your feet are below your shoulders. And all I'm gonna do is inhale, try to squeeze my shoulder blades together without elevating, and exhale, push them apart. So I'm retracting as I draw them back, protracting as I push into the wall. And my elbows stay straight. So that's a key thing here. A lot of people, when they try to do this at first, they bend the elbows. Couple more. Good, now let's leave them protracted for a moment. And can you walk them just a hand's step down the wall, but protract again. Good. And then maybe you can walk your feet back a little bit. So it's almost like you're in a plank pose at the wall, but see how my hips are hanging right now? I don't want to do that. I'm going to tuck my tail, lift my belly away from the wall, and breathe. Just feel your fingers. Notice how your wrists feel. Just look between your hands on the wall. Tuck the tail, engage your glutes. Breathe. Good, and then exhale, let's just step closer to the wall and let the arms come down. Good, and shake out the hands a little bit. Good. And we're still going to use the wall, so you can stay there. And what we're going to do is you're going to bring the wall at one side. You can just do the side that's facing me to make it easier. I'm going to put my hand on the wall, the side that's facing it, a little lower than my shoulder height. Okay. And then I'm going to lock out my arm so it's straight, not overly straight, so not like hyperextended, straight. And then can everybody externally rotate that upper arm bone so the shoulder blade moves down your back. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start stepping my feet away. Now, as I do that, I notice I want my hand a little lower. So I'm going to bring my hand a little lower. And now I'm in a side plank on the wall. Okay, my arm is straight, but not hyperextending. I'm holding my weight with my arm. Your top arm can stay on your hip to make sure that your hips face forward rather than roll back, or it can reach along your ear. Good. That's breathing, feeling your arm strength. Can you engage your abdominals? One more breath. Good. And then just slowly you can step one foot and then the other closer to the wall. Let your arm come down. Notice your two arms. Good. Shake out your wrists a little bit. And then flip around to the other side. Okay. So hand could be lower than shoulder height, especially if you know you're going to step quite a distance away. You get to decide how far away you step from the wall, right? You're going to straighten the arm, roll the upper arm bone back and down so shoulder blade comes down the back, and then start stepping the feet away so that you're on a slant. Let's take the outer hand to your hip so you make sure that your hips aren't rolling forward or back. Good. Bring the back of your head in line with your upper back. And your hand could stay here or it could come along your ear. You're breathing and feeling your strength, feeling yourself hold yourself up here against the wall. Good. And then to come out, just slowly take a step and then another closer to the wall. Good. We're going to stay at the wall for a moment, but before we go to our next thing, let's just interlace your fingers, bringing the palms together and keeping your elbows in, touching the sides of your body. And start to make a figure 8 with your wrists and breathe. So follow your breath in and follow your breath out. And now let's reverse that figure 8. So same path, just go in the opposite direction. And relax through your jaw. Good. And then letting go with your hands, just make fist and then spread the fingers out. Fist and spread. All right, so just notice how that was for you, how it was for you through your wrist, your hand, your forearm. And what I mean is the posture against the wall, your shoulder. Now, how did that feel? Did it feel like a lot of weight? Did it feel easy? Could you do that on the floor? Right? All these ideas. This is a great way to train it for the floor and to build that arm strength and also just get the alignment in the way that would be most beneficial for your body. All right, so next, we're going to do a down dog at the wall, but we're going to do more of a straight press in. So instead of like a hang like this, what I'm going to do is put my hands downward so they'll be up my shoulder height and also my hip height if I can, okay? And your hips go toward the center of the room and your ears come down between your arms if you can. And you straighten your arms all the way if you can. Now, you might need to bend the knees and stretch the hips back in order to stretch the hips back. Okay, let's take a few breaths here. Really press into the wall. And then use that pressure to reach those hips up and back. Good. Now let's slowly bend the knees and walk toward the wall. And just let your arms come down. Shake out the wrists a little bit again. All right, now we're going to use the wall behind our back. So we're going to be doing tree pose. And I like the wall in this position sometimes because what it does is it doesn't make you, it's there for support, but it doesn't make you lean to one side, right? So you've just got it here, not touching the wall with your body, with your upper body or your butt, just the fingers, so you can move away, okay? And then get yourself a focal point out in front of you, but low, without hanging your head. And now can you soften your eyes, all the muscles around your eyes, and soften your jaw. And just feel your breath as it goes in, standing tall, and as it goes out. Good. Now start to shift your weight over to your left foot and just bend the right knee forward. Now you can put your fingers on the wall if you want. And now you can turn the knee out to the side, if that feels all right, and just place your foot on the other ankle. Okay, or it could be on your calf, or even up on your inner thigh. You want to just try to stay lifted through the middle. You can use the wall for support. Your focal point, engaging your standing leg glute if you can. You can always bring your hands into the center in front of your chest or up toward the ceiling if you don't need to hold the wall. Let's take 2 more breaths. Really standing tall like a tree. And 1 more breath. Good, and then slowly, if your knee's out to the side, can you turn it forward and then step down? And just step side to side a little bit. Wiggle around a little bit. All right, let's do the other side. So first you can feel that the wall's there with your fingers. Get your focal point, softening your eyes. Inhale, stand tall. And then exhale, bending the left knee forward, maybe turning it out. You can always keep the toes on the floor, or you can lift the foot higher onto the calf or even the inner thigh. Your fingers can be there supporting you behind your back. Right? Or you can bring them into one of the other arm positions. Engaging that standing leg glute. Good. And when you're ready, you can start to turn the knee forward, bring it down, step a little bit side to side, shake things out a bit. You can come away from the wall. Good. And we're just going to bounce a little bit. So as though you were on a little mini trampoline. Just let everything be loose. Bounce, 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 bounce. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then stand and notice all the sensations that you feel, particularly through your feet, ankles, lower legs. Following your breath in and out.